Welcome to Study Politics. Today in this video I will tell you what is political science, what is political science. For this purpose, first of all I will tell you the derivation of the term politics, that how the term politics was derived. Then we will see political science in general, that what we mean by political science in a general way and not in a specific way. Then we will see two approaches to define political science, that what are the two ways, what are the two approaches by which we can define political science. Then on the basis of these two approaches, we will see some definitions of political science by some eminent political scientists, that how they have defined political science. So in this video, we will see all these things and we will try to conceptualize our concept of what is political science. So let's start. First of all, we will see the derivation of the term politics, that how the term politics was derived. We all know that the word politics has been taken from the Greek language, and the origin of the word politics is polis or polis, which in Greek means city, state. And all the activities and affairs of the city state, the Greek used to call politics. Now what we mean by this? We all know that in ancient times, in ancient Greece, there used to be a lot of Greek city-states, and most of the Greek city-states had their own constitution to run the internal affairs and internal administration of that particular city. For example, in today's world, Pakistan has its own constitution to run the internal affairs and internal administration of the country. Similarly, India has its own constitution, France has its own constitution, Germany has its own constitution. So each and every country has its own constitution to run the internal affairs and administration of that particular country. Similarly, most of the Greek city-states had some political institutions in which citizens used to participate. For example, if we take the example of Athens, which was one of the Greek city-state, there were different political institutions like ecclesia, bowl, dicasteria. Now I am not going into the detail of these political institutions because this is not my topic, but suffice is to say that these were some political institutions, and in Athens it was compulsory for every eligible male Athenian to participate in these political institutions. In these political institutions, they will, for example, will choose their political leaders, or they will decide different political disputes. Since all the eligible male Athenian citizens used to participate in these political activities and in these political institutions, the whole process and the whole phenomena becomes political. And the Greeks used to call this whole phenomena or all these political activities participated by all the citizens politics. So this is how the term politics was originated. So this was how the term politics was originated. But what about science? Since we have political science, so we have seen the origin of political or politics. Now what about science? We all know that Aristotle at his time was the first to make systematic study of 158 constitution. As I told you earlier that in ancient times, in ancient Greece, there used to be a lot of Greek city-states. And according to one estimate, there were at least 1000 Greek city-states. But Aristotle at his time collected the constitution of 158 city-states and he analyzed them systematically. And on the basis of his study and on the basis of his classification, he organized 158 constitutions into two categories. In the first category, he arranged 3 best constitution, and in the second category, he arranged 3 worst constitution. Among the best constitutions were monarchy, aristocracy and polity, and among the worst were tyranny, oligarchy and democracy. Monarchy was the ideal constitution for Aristotle, but for the practical purpose, the mixture of polity and democracy was the ideal for Aristotle. Now again, what is monarchy, what is aristocracy, what is polity or oligarchy or democracy? This is not my topic, but suffice is to say that Aristotle was the first one who made systematic study, who applied scientific method to study the 158 constitutions available to him, and on the basis of this he made classification. Hence he becomes the founder of the science of politics or political science. This is why Aristotle is widely known as the father of political science, since he applied first time the systematic study, or he applied the scientific method to study the 158 constitutions available to him. So this is how the term political science was originated. Next, we will see political science in general, that what we mean by political science in a general way. In general, political science is the study of politically organized society, political system or state. So here the key word is politically organized society, political system or state. If we say that political science is the study of politically organized society, then the question is, what is politically organized society? A politically organized society is a society which is run by some specific laws or which is regulated by some laws. If a society is not run by some laws, it is not a politically organized society, and it will be in the state of nature as described by Thomas Hobbes, John Locke and Rousseau. So if a society is run by laws, it is a politically organized society, and the study of this politically organized society will be the concern of political science. Similarly, of political system, we all know that the political system of Pakistan is different from the political system of America. The American political system is different from the political system of France, and the political system of France is different from the political system of Germany. So each and every country has its own political system to run its internal affairs and administration. So the study of these political systems is concerned with political science. Similarly, of state, we all know that the state has its four characteristics, like it has population, territory, government, sovereignty, and the study of these characteristics, like the study of population, the territory, or more important, the study of government, the study of sovereignty, is all concerned with political science. Similarly, and political science is the study of political process of men or women in a process of governing themselves. So political science is the study of political process. What process? In which men or women are in a process of governing themselves, that how they will be governed, how they will govern, and this process, or in other words, this political process in which they are deciding the methods, they are deciding the techniques, that how they will govern and in turn how they will be governed, is concerned with political science. Similarly, application of scientific methods to study political affairs and events. So political science is also concerned with this. As I told you earlier that Aristotle was the first one who made systematic study of 158 constitutions, and on the basis of this he arranged three best and three worst constitutions, and hence he laid the foundation of the science of politics, since he applied scientific methods. Similarly, in today's world, we can take the example of political events, that for example when elections happens, we apply many scientific methods to them. For example, we apply in many times proportional representation. We also see that which candidate has got how many percentage of votes. We also see that which candidate has got more votes of the people who are less than 20 years of age, or who are less than 30 years of age, or who are less than 40 years of age. Similarly, we also see that why in some countries they develop democracy, and why in some other countries they develop monarchy or aristocracy, why still there are many countries who are not fully democratic, and these sorts of things. So when we apply the scientific methods to analyze political affairs and events, it is also the concern of political science. So this was political science in general. Now we see the two approaches to define political science. The first approach to define political science is the study of political institutions, the state or government. What it means is that in this first approach, we will define political science strictly in terms of political institutions, the state or government. This is for us is a sort of boundary. We will not cross this boundary to define political science. In the second approach, we define political science in terms of the phenomena of power or force in human society. So it is also a sort of boundary. When we will define political science in terms of this approach, we will strictly define political science in terms of the phenomena of power or force on human society. So let's see some definitions given by some eminent political scientists, that how they have defined political science on the basis of these two approaches. So let's see. Now we will see some definitions of political science given by some eminent political scientists. First, Dr. Stephen Leacock has described political science that political science deals with government. So this is a very simple definition, and here the keyword is government. Since he has described political science that it deals with government, so the question is, what is government? To be very short and precise, we can say that a government is a sort of political system by which a country is regulated. So a government is a sort of political system like democratic form of government, a democratic form of government, monarchical form of government, aristocratic. As I told you earlier that Aristotle may classified three best constitutions and three worst constitution. So the three best and three worst constitutions are actually the three best and three worst governments, like monarchical form of government, aristocratic, polity, similarly tyranny, oligarchy, democracy. So all these six constitutions are actually governments, and the study of these governments will be concerned with political science. Next, Professor J.W. Garner has described political science that political science begins and ends with state. So this is a more comprehensive definition in which the keyword is state. Since political science begins and ends with state, so the question is, what is state? So as I told you earlier that the modern state has four main characteristics. It has territory, it has population, it has government, and it has sovereignty. So the study of all these four essentials is concerned with political science, and the most important is government and sovereignty. As far as government is concerned, I have told you earlier, and as far as sovereignty is concerned, sovereignty is a sort of ultimate power. If a country is sovereign, it means that the country is sovereign in terms of its internal administration and external administration. The country is fully, or the country has fully ultimate power in the decisions of his country. So if a country decides his internal and external affairs himself or itself, it is a sovereign country. But if a country is influenced by the decisions of some other country, it is not a sovereign country. So I do not again want to go into the detail because this video is a very introductory video. So the suffice is to say that political science begins and ends with state. That means political science will study government and sovereignty. Similarly, Paul Janet has described political science that political science is a part of social sciences which treat of the foundation of the state and the principles of government. So in fact, this definition has combined these first two definitions. In the first definition, Dr. Stephen Leacock has said that political science deals with government, and here political science begins and ends with state. So here Paul Janet has aggregated both the above two definitions. He said political science is a part of social sciences which treat of the foundation of the state and the principles of government. So there is no need to describe this definition further. So these three definitions were the definitions according to the first approach, that study of political institutions, the state or government. We have strictly defined political science in terms of political institutions, the state or government. Now the next definition given by G.E.G. Catlin is according to the second approach, which is the study of the phenomena of power or force in human society. According to the definition of G.E.G. Catlin, all politics is by its nature power politics. Again, this is a very simple definition. We all know that whoever is doing politics, for example, in your area, the person who is doing politics for the sake of power. If someone says that he is doing politics and he do not want to acquire power, so definitely we can all say that he is lying. So a person who is doing politics to gain power. For example, he want to become prime minister, he want to become president, he want to become member of parliament, he want to become member of provisional assembly, or these sorts of things. So those who are doing politics for the sake of power. They want power for the sake of power. They want to gain power, they want to retain power, they want to exercise power. So according to G.E.G. Catlin, all politics is by its nature power politics. Politics is concerned with power. Similarly, here is one definition of politics that Disraeli has defined politics that it is an art of governing mankind by deceiving them. So this is one of my favorite definition of politics, that politics is a art. It is not a science. It is an art of governing mankind by deceiving them. So if you can govern mankind, if you can govern people by deceiving them, then you are actually doing politics. You will be a true politician. So this is what political science is. I have tried my best to tell you at the conceptual level that what is political science. I hope you have understand it, and if you have not understand it, you have put your questions in the comment section, and if I have missed anything, you can add in the comment section. Thank you for watching my video.